Good morning, evening. Happy 2-year anniversary. What's going on, guys? So, here we are, the 2-year anniversary of the channel. It's been a heck of 2 years. It's pretty crazy. To think that we even hit the 3,000 goal like 2 days early is impressive. I don't think it's gone up at all since then, but hey, I'll take it. I don't care. Why not? And speaking of that, guys, the point challenge has been going off pretty good. There's a couple extra entries that didn't even know were coming, so that's pretty cool. So the judging and stuff will come out a little bit later today, maybe tonight. I do have to confer with my other judge who's finally watched the videos, but of course I gotta wait until everybody gets theirs in, so got till midnight. But basically, like I did last year, I kind of want to talk about the state of the channel, or my favorite things, the worst things, the hardest things, the best things in the last year or so. So basically, like, channel growth has been ridiculous since last year. Like, I looked at my analytics, and of course I have everything written down. Essentially, give or take a few, because the numbers are off by just a day or so, we've grown by 2,152 subscribers in a year. So that means that I had less than 1,000 subscribers. If you guys recall, I wanted to hit 1,000 by my anniversary, didn't get it, and then the 1,000 came much later. So it is what it is. But here we are, a year on, and we've more than doubled. So that's insane, and that's all thanks to you guys. I mean, I just make this stuff. You guys find me and subscribe and watch. Speaking of watching, we've falling off the shelf. Speaking of watching, the most watched videos in the last year, and I don't mean like 2018, I mean since last year, the top 3 are the GUNPLA news, Build Divers reveal the Kolby Britton, and the controversy thus of that video had, at least as of recording this, had 15,770 views. That's crazy. That's the most watched video, period, at least in the last year. Not to be outdone, and once again, I don't know where people are finding this video to watch it, but something that actually came out just under a year ago is my Y-Wing review. Because you remember, well, I remember because I watched the video earlier today, I revealed the Y-Wing build last year on my anniversary because I was reviewing it later in the week. And that thing has 14,809 views. That's crazy. Like, I was surprised that was one of the fastest growing videos that I've had all year long. It's really crazy. I mean, like, I did a good job on that Y-Wing, I'm not gonna lie, and I keep forgetting about it because it's at Hobbytown. In fact, yesterday I was there looking at the shelf, and I'm like, hey, nice. Oh, that's mine. It's like I keep forgetting it's there. I remember that my weathered gun tank and my custom ball kit is there, but I forget that my Y-Wing is there because it's amongst the other Star Wars kits. But then the last highest video is the also Gundam news, or GUNPLA news, and that was the Build Divers Astray No Name reveal, and the talk about that, and that has 13,510 views. Now, what's crazy about those GUNPLA news is they are fairly recent, so that means all those views have been in the last couple months, and those are literally the highest grossing videos that I've made, period. Some of them have made tens of dollars, like, legitimately, like. and you know, it started the argument, like, should I just start doing more GUNPLA news? And judging by the other GUNPLA news videos that I've done, no. It's like, they'll get a few thousand views here and there, but they don't all have the same reaction, they don't all have the same amount of views. I don't mind doing them from time to time, especially if it's something that's, like, especially controversial or especially really cool, like the Rebake or the No Name or things like that, or Sarah's Origin. I'll probably do with the build drivers coming out tomorrow. I'll probably do a Sarah's Identity video again, even though I did a prediction video on that as well. Though that didn't get in the top 3 views. Or actually, it didn't even get in the top 10 for views. So, but it's funny to think that I believe a lot of the growth and a lot of the attention that has happened on this channel has been because a year ago on this day, I got on camera for the first time. On purpose. Because like, I made the decision, I'm like, you know what, I screwed up the other day, I accidentally had my face on the live stream or whatever. And I was just like, you know what, forget it. There's no point in continuing to fight it. Just may as well just get on camera. And it's made a huge difference with connecting with you guys. Doing live streams, always addressing you guys directly, talking with y'all, doing vlogs even, the vlog channel, which is, it's pitiful at best. I haven't been doing vlogging lately just because it's actually harder to do than a lot of other things. And I have not been doing anything interesting. So, it is what it is. But, you know, I started a vlog video. Wasn't scared to show off our lives, wasn't scared to show off some of the things that we've gone through, the ups and downs. Dealing with Hurricane Harvey, which was pretty much this time last year, like right after the anniversary was Hurricane Harvey. Basically kind of trapped in the house for a few days. Couldn't work, nothing like that. Couldn't go anywhere for the most part. We got out when the rain stopped. But yeah, it was crazy to think that, you know, a lot has happened in the last year. Even earlier this year, if you guys following the vlogs and you know what was going on with flooding from the inside, and that had a big effect on my anxiety. And we're gonna talk a lot deeper stuff later in this video, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about from the YouTuber side, or just my personal feelings, stuff like that. But we're gonna do all the fun and light stuff first, for the most part. So what we want to talk about is best builds, things I liked the most that I built in the last year or so. And there's a few things on this list, things that have definitely been around, you've seen, and things that's about to fall. Even a thing that you guys have not seen yet. It's coming out this week, but you know, kind of like last year, one of the best builds I've had all year long is something that's coming out in the future. But something I did very, very recently, not even like 2 weeks ago. Cross Silhouette Gundam. You little guy. Homie. Look at your little guy. Look at him. Definitely one of the coolest builds, even in recent memories, or even from the last year. Like, something that really stood out to me. And that's kind of the hard thing about doing this job. Having something that really sticks out and that you'll remember doing. It was a kit that was very simple, really easy to build, but I had fun making it. And then I went even to the nines in dressing it up with water slides, which you guys know I hate doing water slides. And I spent a couple hours doing more work to this than I did building it. So this really stands out to me. And more people need to watch this review, if I'm totally honest. Because there were people at the meet the other day, yesterday, that told me, it's like, hey, I went and bought that kit because you did this review and I saw how cool it really was compared to old SDs. And I'm like, yeah, it's freaking awesome. Another build that really surprised me and was definitely something new, and I really want to look more into this property, but getting the kits is a lot harder. It's the Hexagear. Of course, that's his butt. But this Hexagear guy, while he had his problems, slightly problematic, but he's really cool. It's a very cool product. There's so many of these, and so many more coming out that, like, even more blow my mind than this particular dude. That, like, I can't keep up. Like, things I want to buy, but hard to get a hold of. Gundam Planet gets some of them. Big Bad Toy Store does. Of course, I got this one at Hobbytown, which made it easy because I could put it on layaway. Actually, I should just put it on display at Hobbytown. I had like a list of things I wanted to take to Hobbytown, and I just forgot. But it stands out to me as something new and different and cool, and reminds me of a lot of transforming thingies from my childhood that I really liked, like Mask or anything like that, because it is a big, like, trike motorcycle. But as for Kotobukiya, that's actually a very neat property, and it's something that I want to keep up with, but isn't necessarily the easiest thing to get after. Next build is actually a fairly recent one, and it is actually from Build Divers, that controversial thing that everybody thinks is stupid and dying, and I actually like the series. Momokapool. This was like a breath of fresh air in like a sea of kits that I had been building back to back to back to back, and was burnt out. Like, because I built all of those Build Diver kits I got in the same, like, 2 days. And when I built this one, it made me happy. Like, look at that. Look at the Kapool. It's a cool kit. It's a cool thing in general. Doesn't camera's like, well, I don't know where to focus. And it was just fun. You know, it's a fun, goofy little kit. And I hope they do, like, other variants of it somehow down the line. I don't even know what they would do with it, but I really wish they would, because this is one of the ones I think should stick around. I mean, it mildly transforms. It has the fun gimmick of the mini Kapool, or petit Kapool. I like the mini Kapool better. I think that's a better idea. I will say the arm doesn't like to stay plugged in when you bump it. But it did a little bit of work to it, you know, I had fun with it. You know, I was bored and kind of pissy. Like, there's another Build Diver kit on this video, but it's not in a positive light. So, Momokapool was a lot of fun. I still like it. I think it's one of the better kits of the first round of Build Divers. So, it is what it is. I do dig that. Next up, big guy. Big old boy. This thing. The Hashmal. This was a ridiculous build. And I was watching the review the other day because somebody made a new comment on it, and I went back and I rewatched it. I was like, man, I did a lot of work on this. The build itself didn't take very long. It wasn't a super hard build. But once I got into weathering it and, you know, dirtying it up, that's where I had my fun. And I enjoyed this a lot more. So, I mean, as best builds go, it's on there. Probably if it had been on the best and worst build list, if I'd actually gotten it in like the class of 2017, it probably would have done okay. Like, build-wise, it's just but I had fun with it. I actually had some passion in making it. Wanted to make it dirty, you know. And watching the review, I had a little bit of fun with it because I had it fighting Barbatos and stuff like that. So that's definitely up there with things that I built that were just good, and I had a lot of fun with them. Next up is that video that's coming out this week. Not going to talk too much about it because then there'd be no point in you watching the video. Duh. Little Green Boy. Definitely one of my favorite builds of the last 365 days. Go watch the review when it comes out on Friday. But you know, I already love this thing. Just, you know, teasers, so to speak. Another one, actually the last one in this particular chunk of the video, and this guy's going to make another appearance later for a different reason. But it was the Amazon Gundam itself. Mr. A to Z, Mr. A Zeta. This was a fun build. I really liked the design of it. And it spawned a certain video type that is now a minor staple of this channel. So this thing definitely gets up there with one of the best builds of the year. Now, is its transformation like a little wonky and you got parts form and stuff like that? Sure. But it was a lot of fun. I like doing it. And it was one of the first transforming Gundams that I've had that I didn't, you know, you didn't have to struggle with a whole lot of transforming versus it having a core block to work with. Whereas the other ones are basically the 00 Gundams that are back here behind me that actually do transform, except for Curios, which has a little crutch thingy. But yeah, so this guy, for sure. And like I said, because he did he spawned something else on this channel that also comes back a little bit later. Alright, so we talked best. Let's talk worst. So definitely, and I talked about that, one of the worst builds so far in the last year was this guy. It's very disappointing. The build quality is meh at best. It broke on me in the middle of a review. I mean, other than that, it's just kind of meh. Like, it could have been a lot better. And being that it's based off an old kit, stuff like that, you know, being off the old Gym 3, they tried. They tried to make the Beam Master cool, and it's not. It's just not great. I'm really looking forward to its replacement to hopefully have a better kit. If it's based off a Jagan slash Jesta, I'll be okay with that. So hopefully that thing will be a lot better off. But that guy, one of the worst builds. Also, one of the worst builds of the entire year. Should be no surprise. This nightmare. Broke on me right before the review. Did part of the review with it broken. In the review, it was kind of a pain in my ass. Just putting it together sucked. It has those old sticker markings that, well, you have to trim every single one of them. The details are nice. It looks really nice. Just don't ever touch it. The cape, I tried to customize, ended up ruining. Customize the weapons, that came out okay. I did dig it. Did have to break and modify the chest to swap it out because the parts themselves would not come apart after once they were assembled. It has stupid gimmicks. The chains that come out from the crotch claws, really stupid. It's a floppy mess when it comes to the backpack, and it's just brittle and not happy. Not to mention, apparently all the other versions of it suck as well. I really want to get the X2 because I like the design. I just don't want to go through this again. I'm more willing to buy the HG rather than the MG. Now, one that's kind of in a special category of I'm not sure if I hated it or not was this guy right here, the Casval Custom RX-78. It's in there with, did I really hate it, or is it just that the 3.0 is kind of a pain in my butt? But I don't know. It's one of those things, so it's kind of hard to judge. But that's kind of it. Don't have a huge list of like crappy builds and stuff like that. Some of them were definitely better than others. But other than that, yeah. Alright, so let's move on to some other bests. So because I do other things on this channel rather than just build Gunpla, I've got a lot of other things that I absolutely loved in the last year or so. It's fairly recent addition to the collection, but I can't stop buying these things, and it's definitely my favorite of the lot. Ghost Dog from 52 Toys Beast Box. So I love these Beast Box figures. I'm gonna be buying more of them. There's actually more reviews coming up from newer ones. I haven't done those reviews yet, but I have the figures. Plus, giving away one of these guys. Well, not this guy, but you know, some of the other ones. This one's one of my favorites, and there are special editions of this guy. I just gotta figure out how to get them because they look amazing. So I love these. I hope that you guys love them too. Whoever wins the other D10, hope you love all that as well. Another very recent favorite, although you know it's in a review that's not coming out for a little while, was something I teased in the video the other day. It's Captain Fuzzybottom. That is what I call him now. Technically a Gamorrean Guard. It's Target exclusive Star Wars Black Series Gamorrean Guard. I call him Captain Fuzzy Bottom. I did a lot of work to him. Hopefully it shows up in the review. I love this thing. This is one of the best Star Wars figures I've bought to date, and I've got a list of them coming out. Because I'm doing so many other reviews right now, other toy reviews and collectible reviews, honestly considering starting a whole separate channel for that, because I can't get them out fast enough on this main channel. So maybe there'll be like a Shoky Reviews 2 coming up this year, because it would make it a lot easier for me to get these reviews out if I could get them out on a faster review schedule, to be totally honest. Now, more favorites. Something else I picked up in the last year, I should say. And these guys will be coming up later on this weekend. A different review. DX9 Dinobots. The DX9 War and Pocket series is one of my favorite transforming third-party period. The Dinobots are, of course, my favorite. This is the first time I've ever had all 5 original G1 Dinobots together in one place. Now, while Slag might have his problems with his super loose hips and kind of wonky transformation sequence, I love the details. The cost is a little bit high for what they are. However, the review that I'm not going to reveal here, but the actual review that's coming out on Thursday, also one of my new favorites, and I have more of that thing coming, probably with another one of my new favorites. I'll have to find out when it gets here. But these are absolutely worth your money. If you love G1 Dinobots, get you the War and Pocket series while you still can. They're sold out in a lot of places. Get them anyways. Grimlock is definitely one of my favorites, alongside Swoop. It's just they're all so good. I absolutely love them. I love them so much that some official ones that may be coming up on a different list are just kind of meh. And one of my most favorite items, one of my most favorite items of the entire last year is also one that was incredibly controversial and had the most copyright strikes ever on this channel. The Gurren Lagann core drill. I still get chills. Like right now, I'm all tingly. I love this thing. I love it so much. This is one of the coolest things I have ever bought. The other day, Eric was over when we did that Master Grade Monday. He wouldn't stop playing with it. Middle of the review, he picked it up and goes, oh wait, yeah. This. Love Gurren Lagann. Love this core drill. There's actually a Gurren Lagann figure I really want to get. I just got to figure out where to put it in the budget. Absolutely worth it if you can get it. If you're an original Gurren Lagann fan, that sound gives me chills. And the fact, and I forgot this because I was keeping it, it was just hanging up over there. And I forgot that I had the base set off to the side so you can actually get the actual spiral base. It's so damn cool. Seriously, buy one. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth every dime. Unless you get 24 copyright strikes from it, in which case, not worth it. Every single thing. And I had to fight for a long time to get rid of those copyright strikes. It was ridiculous. And pretty much my most favorite thing that I've bought in the last year is also one of the most expensive things I have ever bought. Flame Toys Drift. This is one of the most magnificent things I have ever seen. Bobby Skullface says this is literally the best Transformer he has ever had his hands on. He doesn't own it yet, but he probably will, because he reviewed it. Someone loaned it to him to change his mind, and he did. I'm going to get my hands on Tarm that's coming out. It towers over Drift. Tarm's like this. That's ridiculous. Starsaber, along with Victory Leo, that can combine into the ultimate form. They actually have the huge, ridiculous, high-quality figures that can combine probably with a cost of nearly $1,000, if we're going to be honest. And then after that, they've got an Optimus figure. And Inflame Toys also has a buttload of models coming out, all around this design that they've kind of constructed for themselves. Mind you, this is a very IDW drift, which is absolutely amazing. Details beyond belief, LEDs, posability, engineering, details, all of it is absolutely ridiculous. If you have the ability to buy it, which technically we all do, you just kind of have to give up other things, which is what I did. Actually, I put it on layaway, that helped. If Flame Toys has a future in selling these high-end figures, they need to set up a layaway program or a payment plan program the same way that Hot Toys has. And I believe that is how they will sell these figures in the future, because these are Hot Toys money. Easily $300, $400, probably $600 for that Star Saber. I'm just guessing, because it's ridiculous. They need to set something up for the high-end collector that can't afford it. Can't afford to dump that much money all at once, or can't afford a credit card all at once. Alright, so that's it for my favorite things. I'm sure there's other things. My Grocery Gang figures, I really do love those. And I know a lot of you don't understand it, but there's those who do. And the ones who get it, really get it. And what's really funny about those is that now they're getting harder to find on retail shelves. However, you can totally buy them at the grocery store. The last few I found that are coming up soon, that's why I said I really should just do a toy channel. I bought them at the grocery store, and it's so funny that, you know, you can do that. And they're not overcharging. You know, it's not anti-retail. So, it's pretty cool. Alright, let's move on to the opposite end of the spectrum. Now it's time to talk about some crap. There's been some really crappy figures in the last year. Really crappy toys, stuff like that. And I'll start with one that is kind of infamous on this channel a little bit. Infamous on the internet, period. And actually, it's not just the one, it actually was a whole series. So, the Legacy Power Rangers figures. If you guys remember, I had all of the metallic ones. And I complained constantly about the damage done to the weapons, or the joints, and stuff like that in packaging. So bad I got rid of them all. I sold the whole set all at once. Now I can turn around and buy them again. They're selling all the Legacy figures outright. From all kinds of different retailers. However, this one definitely takes the cake as the worst thing that came from the line so far. Gold Boy. Velveeta Boy. The thing that took 2 days of my life to fix. Now, I'm very happy with the outcome. You know, the paint job's actually pretty good. Although, now I would probably do a different gold. I would probably use my red gold from my Gundam marker set rather than Tamiya gold. Although I do really like this, and it taught me some painting skills a little bit better. Taught me, like, especially for cleaning that up and using Gundam marker to paint the staff. I really do dig it. I like it now. He doesn't stand worth a damn. He falls over. He was falling over when I went to start this review. The ankles are so weak, they just topple over. Actually, he's trying not to fall over right now. Probably will fall over by the end of this review. Let's just be honest here. And the last couple things on this worst list, there's actually a few more things probably, but these are the things that I'm definitely most disappointed by for the amount of effort and time put into them. This guy. Seriously. This could have been a very, very cool figure. The Rodimus figure, or Hot Rod I should say, is actually pretty good. I like the Hot Rod figure. I actually don't mind the truck mode that much. Like the full-on Space Winnebago. I don't really mind it that much. It's not quite accurate, but it's pretty good. This guy, on the other hand, has a dump truck backpack. Looks ridiculous. He's got a crotch where his head should go. The dumbest... The shoulders are so stupid on this. I can't ever get over it, if I'm totally honest. Like this, I'm trying to rotate. It's bad. This kibble hanging off the arms, really terrible design. Stickers are really bad on this. Some of them just make absolutely no sense. That's why there's things like repro labels to fix it. I don't even want to go that far. And I definitely wasn't going to buy Rod Machine Cronus, who has a really ridiculous head sculpt, although I like the color scheme on him. I did actually want to do an accurate paint job on this guy, clean him up a little bit, customize him somewhat. I don't even know if I want to do it, to be totally honest. I don't know that it's worth it. It's a sad, sad thing. Power of the Primes ruined a lot of figures. However, he does have a cool custom touch. If I can get his chest open again. A cool custom matrix I made. Actually, I customized his and Optimus's to match. That I like, because I did it. Hasbro couldn't do it, so I had to fix it. Also in that same vein, we talked about how good the DX9 Dinobots were. And then there's this unforgivable mess. I'm going to be getting one of the upgrade kits for this. I don't know which one. The Dreamwave looks really cool, but so does the Perfect Effect version. This is also unforgivable. You ruined the Dinobots in the mainline series. Most of them are garbage. You got 2 potatoes down here for legs. You have the best figure possible over here as an arm instead of, I don't know, a backpack with wings. That would have made sense. You have a Grimlock that has hips. Got dumps like a truck. And it's a big spindly mess, and it's the wrong size. This should have been a whole Voyager class combiner. This should have been a Titans class combiner like Predaking and Devastator. This is a poor excuse for a mainline Dinobot thing. The only other time in history of Transformers that we got a real mainline Dinobot set, and it was this. This cost too much money to be this bad. These cost more and are way better. They don't combine, and I'm okay with that. But they're better Dinobots than this. Now, if this new thing that they're doing is increasing quality and increasing price with the new upcoming stuff, then maybe. But this as it stands, or barely stands because it doesn't want to fall over all the time, I have to have it in a staggered pose and leaned against the back wall of the Detolf to actually keep it standing. This hurts my G1 Dinobot soul. In fact, I'd rather have a whole G1 Dinobot set than this. If I could. Woo. Alright guys, so with time usually comes progress, and there has been many progresses and advancements of this channel. One of which being the thing I'm recording on right now, my new phone. I did consider buying an actual camera to record on, and honestly, that was going to be more money, considering I needed a new phone anyways. Upgrading to this Galaxy S9 Plus has been a massive change. The first real thing that you guys kind of got to see on this was actually the vlog footage of our vacation. And yeah, I've been using it for reviews, and it took some learning. Even as of about not even a week ago, I had figured out that my thumbnails were being taken in the wrong aspect ratio. Dang it. The hair will not cooperate. I need a haircut. So I was taking pictures in what I thought was the normal ratio that is escaping me off the top of my head right now. Either way. But I was not. I was actually taking photos in a much higher, wider angle. And I was wondering why, when I was making my thumbnails, I had to keep enlarging and scooching things over. It didn't even occur to me I was taking pictures in the wrong size. I had the megapixels on the right size. I wasn't paying attention to the actual ratio. So I fixed that, and now I have less problems. Now I might have changed my thumbnail game just a little bit. Which is actually something I have been doing, is trying to take better thumbnail pictures, trying to engineer more cohesive thumbnail design so that you guys know, okay, this is a Gundam design, this is a toy design, or this is a toy thing. Just at a glance so you can tell that there's a difference. And I've been working on that, I really have. The other thing I've been working on, pun totally included, is my upgraded set. You guys saw the DIY video of building the lighting upgrade, and it has been a massive change, especially going back and rewatching my old video earlier. The lighting change was ridiculous. I mean, playing with the camera settings, shooting on pro setting now instead of auto, so I can play with the lighting, I can play with ISO, I can play with shutter speeds, exposure, stuff like that has really changed how my videos look. Also shooting in 60 frames per second, which is something I wasn't doing because it's massively inconvenient because you only have a 10-minute time limit on 60K video or 60 FPS videos. Same thing with 4K. I can shoot in 4K, but that's a 5-minute limit. Now that's something I could do on my old camera, but the space was so limited on that thing and non-expandable, whereas I picked up a 120 gig SD card for this guy. So I can shoot all day long and not run out of space, which is something I could not do on my old phone. I would have to do video dumps every like 30 minutes or so if I was shooting in high footage, which really sucked for if we had people over or I was trying to record a podcast or something like that. Speaking of recording podcasts, that's something that also has changed. This guy. Having this microphone for doing live streams and podcasts has been a massive change. It's taken some getting used to, that's for sure. But if I wanted to do voiceovers and stuff like that instead of recording raw in the moment, I would definitely be using that. And in the future, with doing more podcasting, doing more nerdcasts, especially the one-on-one nerdcasts that I'm really trying to develop right now, it's essential for that. And now that I figured out how to record Hangouts without having to rely on YouTube to do it, that's going to make another big difference in making sure that I can record that reliably and not have glitchy details and stuff like that, which is what happened on recording an incredibly long one with my buddy Nate Simmons, which we're going to have to get together and do another one, because I don't think I can edit that footage together in a meaningful way. So there's a almost a 4-hour long podcast out there of us nerding out. It's not public, but I really want to develop this idea, and I'm working on it. I really am in the background. There's a lot going on in the background, guys. One of the other things is, actually, I kind of neglected this in my favorite builds of the year. The side table right here that I've also got everything piled on. If you guys go watch the Life of Shoky vlog where I built these tables, because there's a set that bolts together. One of my favorite builds, also very valuable for this reason right here, because I no longer have to house everything on my main review set table. So now I can bolt things to this table. And I did a podcast with Eric, and I did a podcast with Nick using these tables, and it works. Not to mention it'd be good for playing cards and stuff like that. So it's the whole reason I built it. The other one is in the living room right now, and it's actually where I'm building a custom, which is something you guys will see sometime soon. It's about 90%. I'm not there yet. The custom local type that I've been working on since the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. That is also one of my most favorite builds of this year and period. I'm incredibly proud of where I started on it and where it's gone. My skills have gotten so much better because of it, and I can't wait to show you guys, but I can't show you guys right now. Sorry. Another favorites thing. My favorite kind of videos, my favorite videos that we've done this year, in the last year I should say. One would be the news videos, the GUNPLA news videos, especially because I was doing them how I wanted to do them, or just cut and dry, and here's the upcoming thing. You know, being sarcastic, throwing in funny clips and other things like that. I had a lot of fun with those, and not gonna lie, they got a lot of views, especially that one, which is the highest viewed video in this channel's history, and has made me a decent amount of money at it. And when I say decent, I mean the average video that's been up for about 2 years has made me $1. When I say that video has made me real money, I mean that in that scale, because YouTube money is like this compared to an actual job. You do this much work for that much payoff. That's one of the things we'll talk about near the end here. But that video, those videos, a type of video, I enjoy doing it if I can have fun with it. I don't want to just be cut and dry. Hey, this is an upcoming kit. Hey, look at this. This is the list of everything coming out this month. And there's nothing wrong with those. That just seems like a book report, and I don't want to do a book report. I hate book reports. Always have. Doing episode reviews combined with the news is actually kind of fun with me. So if there's new GUNPLA release news tied to a new episode of Build Divers, and I can have a conversation with you guys about it, that's what I enjoy. And I think that's something that I've learned a little bit from watching Philip DeFranco these last few years, because I really, really appreciate the way he does the news. But I think that's pretty much what it comes down to. Also, my new favorite thing, skits. Yeah, you guys can tell I've had a lot of fun doing skits. From the not Gundam related trilogy to its sequel, the have you guys seen this, which everybody participated in? That was an amazingly fun day. It was a ton of work, I'm not gonna lie. It was also an enormous amount of work to edit that video. Multi-camera use, shooting from different angles, trying to coordinate a group of people that don't necessarily act. It was a ton of fun, and I watch those videos and I laugh. Plus, I have this new continuous storyline of the life and times of Red Hat, and I love that everybody, like, I did the stinger at the end of the video, and like people are like, "What's that mean? What is the Red Hat thing? What is that?" And like, you didn't watch the previous videos. Go back and watch those, and you'll know. That alone has tested, all of that has tested my skills at editing and shooting video, especially the announcement for the Point Challenge, where it was me and me alone doing all of that, playing 4 different roles, doing split screen. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to film and edit, and to make it a cohesive mess where you guys kind of like, are there really 2 of them in the room right there? There was only one slip up I could not avoid, and that was the lighting change at one particular point, and I just couldn't get around it. It was an obvious change. Less obvious than the change before that, before the last time I had shot it. But also, it's something that you guys have to realize from behind the scenes. When you're looking at, when it's on the YouTube Shoky, or Dank Shoky, I think as somebody said it, and then New Guy, Black Hat, as I call him. When you're looking at that, those are 2 different videos running out their course. I had to act and know the timing of the other person. So I had to go in my head, this is the next line, this is the next line, this is how much time I have to reply, and then say my reply. When it's on screen, when you see the conversation back and forth between the 2, and it doesn't cut back to me sitting in the chair, that is 2 live videos. There's no edit there. There's no break in the footage. That's me having to know the timing for both sides. So shoot 1, know how long. And I didn't have a timer because my cameras were set up to film. I couldn't have a timer to know how long it was. I had to go over the beat for beat in the script and know what I said on the other side and how I said it. That was incredibly challenging. It's like, I'm not an actor. I'm just a very good creative person, and I made it work way better than I ever thought. I had to do some really crazy cuts to make things flow better through that. But writing the script, actually, the script is written in this particular notebook that I'm looking at right here. So there's my Nerdcast notes. There's my notes for this. The like 3-page script for that video, and that's how I knew what I was doing. At one point, I think you see me looking over, like down, like I'm looking at what's on the table. I'm not. I'm looking at the book because that's where my script was. And there was actually a scene. It was whenever the YouTube me comes in, and it got cut to switch back to me because the footage was wonky. I had to do that. Where he comes in and he's trying to pin a new post to the wall. And if you notice, he looks down and then turns around. It's because it's like, I like to have continuity in my videos. So in one of my previous videos, in my vlog footage, you actually can see me take down the pegboard or whatever, the post board that we used for that video and replace it. So in continuity, he's trying to pin a new post on the wall, and the thing is gone, but it's down on the ground. So in reality, what I was supposed to do, and I didn't do, because I had to change the script mildly, he was supposed to pin it on the thing that's sitting on the ground. It's actually, here, look. Let me rotate down here and so you guys can see. If you can see that, it's sitting right over there on the floor. I leave things where they are a lot of times for that reason. When I did the Not Gundam Related 3, and the new guy came in and the hazel was sitting there and he picks it up, the hazel was still sitting there from the previous skit. I'd forgotten to put it away, so it was still sitting there. And so that was like, ooh, hazel. So I've had so much creative fun with that. And it gets away from the reviews and stuff like that. And I wouldn't mind doing more skits. Like I was working on an idea for one yesterday at the meet. May or may not go through, we'll see. I have to really have the spark of creativity, whereas some of these other ones have made it very easy. Very, very easy. And the fact that it started with our little group that we're talking between myself, TheKrowSama, and GUNPLA Fan 15 is where it kind of all started, with Facebook tropes and people that were annoying us in Facebook groups, and that's where that originally came from. And I've just run with it, and I've had a lot of fun. And on top of that was something I brought up earlier, a new type of video, as it were, a new type of review, as it were, that spawned from the guy we talked about earlier. This guy. That review, being so ungodly long, 45 minutes or so, spawned somebody, I can't remember who it is, but I believe I actually have them blocked now because they were a very rude person, told me to get to the point. So I did. Which has spawned the point challenge. And the point videos, while I don't do them for every review, which I think would actually get very old and kind of pointless actually, I've had a lot of fun with it. The last one got out of hand to where it was 1 minute and 42 seconds, if I remember correctly. So I've made it to where I cannot have them over 2 minutes, just like the rules for the point challenge. But the original concept was to not have them over 1 minute, and actually the first two are not. They're like 43 seconds and 58 seconds, I think, each. And I have a lot of fun with them. But I have to have the creative spark. I have to have the thing that I want to do. And I have another one coming up this Saturday, if I remember to film it all. It's a review that I need to film. I did not get around to filming today. Sadly, I had so much work to do, and I didn't get it all done. Once again, I think I'm going to have to start a whole other review channel, to be totally honest with you guys. But those of you who actually like my non-Gundam things would have to actually go over there and check them out. But there were things that I did not like in the last year that equated to videos. Couple reviews, a couple things that did annoy me. I've had a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of kits and things like that, and Transformers that were very fiddly and annoying. But one review I did out of necessity, but it wasn't the best thing I've ever done. And that was like the 23 Beers 1 Shoky review. I know it's got almost no views, And originally what I wanted to do with any of this back in the day when beer was my main passion, I did want to start a beer podcast, a beer interview show, a beer review show. And I have friends who actually do that. They have a beer podcast, and it's usually like yearly voted on the second best food podcast in the nation, second only to Alton Brown. But that review was literally like, I've got to dump all these beers, so I may as well try them. It was a chore. It was a massive chore. It took a long time. Editing it took a very long time. I was happy with the outcome. Just the review itself was one of the biggest chores to get through. Another video that was kind of a pain in the butt was the Voltron video, the 84 Voltron video. The actual Voltron itself, not the lions. We had a lot of fun. I filmed the lions. I think Nick was here for that. But the Voltron itself, and this was happened off screen because we deleted this part of the review. We actually put it together wrong. Yeah, I know. We had the legs backwards. We had blue and yellow switched. He didn't catch it, I didn't catch it. We were trying to figure out why it wouldn't connect right, and then it wouldn't come apart. And the sounds were all jacked up after that. So that video sucked to make because we were having that problem. The first one was actually one of the funniest things we've ever done, and I actually loved that because we had the moment where it fell over and everything like that. We were never going to recapture that. That was an in-the-moment thing. Also, a couple of the other videos were Nick related. Some of his Master Grade Mondays that I had to modify or clean up his Gundam kits. I love Nick, he's brother. And he's working on it. He's in a better place now with his life. In fact, he started his own thing called the Nerdy Gent, I believe it's called. Nerdy Gentleman, Nerdy Gent. Either way, he started his own thing doing tips for nerdy guys, just life hacks, life tips, stuff like that. Real encouraging kind of stuff. So he's actually started that, and I appreciate that. He's gonna come next time he comes over. We're probably gonna shoot a video for that, and it'll be kind of fun. But there was a long streak where there was like a bunch of crap he was giving me, if I'm totally honest. Like I said, I love him, he's like a brother, but yeah. There's like one thing that has stood out more than anything in the last year. The best moments, the best stuff that I've done on this channel. Here's my notebook. The Lupus for Lupus contest. I've never remotely put anything on like that, ever. Never been in charge of a contest. I've been involved in a contest, just never in charge. Never had to have so much interactivity with you guys, really. And to do it all for charity, including designing new t-shirts, stuff like that. T-shirt sales were actually very good. Not quite as much as I would have liked. Mind you, the store is still open, so if you still want some Lupus for Lupus gear, it's still up there. Seeing the builds that you guys did, actually hearing the stories from other people who suffer from lupus or know somebody who suffers from lupus that are in this community, that are in the builder community. And to hear them be like, dude, this is awesome. Like nobody ever brings this disease to light. And you know, of course, it's because of my lovely wife that I did it in the first place. And I would love to put on the Lupus for Lupus contest every year, but obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult after all the kits are gone. But I think at least every year we'll probably do some t-shirts or something along that line. I still haven't finished my build for it. It's actually still sitting up there waiting for me to paint it. There's actually several things I'm waiting to paint, but because I'm trying to upgrade my painting ability with a air-powered thingy, so to speak, I'm not there yet. When I am, that's when I'll finally finish that, along with a few other things that I've been waiting for paint. But I've been working on that. There's actually a review that I've started on the Gundam marker airbrush set. I actually filmed most of the review, but then I did a lot more after the fact, so I'm like, okay, I can't really put this video out this way. It's not quite done. And actually, I kind of want to reshoot that now that I've got more skills with it. Including using it on this guy. And of course the let's see, where is he? I think he's right here behind me. The Banshee Norm. Oh no, he's right here. But yeah, that's definitely the best thing I've done in the last year. Now I do have another contest coming up next year. Well, it's for next year, I should say. I can't give you any details. The people who know about it and who are helping me with it on behind the scenes are giddy at best, and I have a lot of hopes for this one because it's going to be so much more fun. Like, Lupus for Lupus was fun, but this is going to be even more fun. And I'm not going to give you any teasers. It's going to be a couple more months before I do the announcement because I want people to actually have the time to build. So I want to give at least like a 4 or 5 month build time. So I'm going to make all that announcement. Plus, there's a lot of stuff I need to set up. I'm actually looking into becoming a real charity so that we can actually donate way more money, get discounts and stuff like that with things for the charity. I'm going to look into everything that goes that way because I would love to do a yearly charity contest of some sort. Just pick a different charity each year and go for it, and that's what I really want to work towards. So that we can actually have like an actual foundation so that we can donate more proceeds. We can have people like other companies actually be able to have a write-off for donating things because we're a true charity, stuff like that, you know. So I'm looking into it. I need to dig deeper. You can take a couple days and really dig into what is necessary. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm really driven by one of our local celebrities here, Rod Ryan, because he does that every year. They have several charity functions every year. They just did the backpacks for it's a back to school backpacks thing. They sell merchandise online, all kinds of stuff related to the show or otherwise, and all the proceeds go directly to buying backpacks full of school supplies for kids. This year they broke records. It is $80,000 worth of backpacks. Every backpack full of supplies costs $20. $80,000 worth. That's ridiculous that they pulled that off. And that's, you know, people buying stuff online or just donating or having charity auctions and stuff like that. Originally, Lupus for Lupus was supposed to be an auction. I was going to build a custom thingy and do an auction, and I don't think that we would have raised wouldn't have hit the $700 that we did make. So, you know, I mean, it's nothing amazing and mind-blowing, but considering it was short notice and there weren't a giant number of people that participated, but everybody who did, everybody who donated, everybody who bought a ticket, everybody who bought a t-shirt, all of you are amazing for even participating. You know, all I am, and I say this about myself a lot, I'm just a conduit for greatness. I just find the things and make them happen. I don't really do the things that are great. I just find them and bring them to light. You know, I came up with the idea for it, but it was you guys who actually did the work. You guys who made the customs. You guys who built the kits to be featured. You guys who bought the t-shirts and stuff like that, or even the guys who designed the t-shirts. You know, Ryan, Steve, Dion never got around one, sadly. And Ryan's going to be working with me in the future on the next contest and a couple other ideas. Rodimus13, of course, the one who won the contest overall, is working with me on the next contest entirely, but he's working on some designs of his own for other stuff. And he designed something for me that's coming out here in a couple months that I really enjoyed and came out way better than I thought. So it's a community effort. It's just me finding the people to make the greatness happen. I don't see myself as being great or doing anything specifically great. It's just me finding those who do and bringing it to light. So that's the way I look at it. Alright guys, so now it's kind of time for the real segment, the kind of, I guess it's the get real kind of situation here. So it's been 2 years at doing this as a job, as a hobby, stuff like that. And it has been fairly grueling. It's been massively time consuming, but I have lots of time to spare, so that doesn't really count. I've had a lot of fun. And I've had a lot of stress. Every YouTuber goes through it, every reviewer goes through it. There have been countless times, especially in the recent months, where I've just wanted to throw in the towel and call it quits. I don't see views. I see views tanking. I see subscribership just plateauing and not really going anywhere. And it could be a number of things, but when all you see is the numbers in front of you and you see the results of your hard work not paying off in any way, shape, or form, and without any real answers, all you think is, I just suck. My channel sucks, my building sucks, you guys don't like me, things like that. And everybody goes through it. TheKrowSama has had some massive changes to his channel recently, and a lot of it came down to, well, he thought that, you know, he needed to fix this, he needed to fix this, I need to change this. It's like, well, if my viewership isn't going up, I'm not getting the likes that I should. And that's all we can see is the metrics on our end. All we can see is numbers on a screen. All we can see is a little thumbs up or a little thumbs down. Who thumbs down a giveaway, by the way? So I'm guessing there's at least one person out there who just goes through and dislikes all my videos just to be a jerk, to be totally honest with you. And I've pissed off some people. I have. I don't even care. I'm going to be honest. There are people who have come to this channel, who have come into the comments, who have been absolutely rude, have said some pretty evil things over the last couple of years, who attack other people, who attack me directly. One guy came at me because I was, I guess I was kind of, I can't remember the exact situation, but I said something to another person because of one of their comments. And I ended up deleting that string of comments. And that guy said, well, you know, goodbye, you know, you just lost a subscriber. And I was incredibly angry at the entire situation. Not that I lost a subscriber, but the entire interaction really made me mad. There's been so many emotional reactions that I've had, either angry or depressed or anything like that, you know. And it's fine if you don't agree with me on something, or you want to have a discussion, or you want to argue with me or something, but it's something else to attack. And I'll pick on certain people on the channel, you know, I have that kind of relationship with some of you guys. But I never, like, deliberately attack anybody, and I try not to, because I don't want to be like that, and I don't want others to be like that. But then, this is the internet. People do it. And it hurts. And not only hurts us, it hurts other people. I've had to stand up for people who were getting attacked, and then I ended up having to ban that person in the first place. So, I mean, it's like that everywhere you go. And, like, part of me was worried that one reason why the subscriber base was just not growing at all was because of this situation. And I started changing my mind to where, like, I'm not going to just reply to every comment like I normally would. And maybe I'll address them on the Sunday live streams, which actually worked out really, really well last week. And I want to get back to it. I was going to do it this week, but the live stream was a very last-minute kind of deal. Apparently the wifey's cooking dinner. She must have gotten hungry. This is going on much longer than anticipated. But there was a video that came out last week from Gabby Hanna. Actually, the video didn't come out. I saw a reaction on the Fine Brothers channel to that video. And it was basically, it was a self-diss track. So she did a rap basically dissing herself. Like, you know, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with the channel? And it starts out all fun and everything like that. Like, look at me, YouTuber. Look at this stuff. I post constantly from the gym. Check out my ride, which is a Toyota Corolla. And then it turns very real. Literally like the dark side of everything. The internal struggles of, you people love to watch me because I hate myself. That's what she said. You know, she's like, you guys know that I hate myself and you love it. And it's like, she literally repeats it. You love that I hate myself. You love that I hate myself. You love that I hate myself. You know, and like all of it was so much self-reflection and just deep thoughts, and like, and the whole thing of like, are you my friends or are you my subscribers? Are my friends who join me on the channel, my fellow YouTubers that I talk to, are you my co-workers or are you my friends? And then the other realization of, where does work end and where do I begin? And I look at that and yeah, this is my life. This room is my job and it's my hobby, but it's also my life, because it doesn't stop inside here. It doesn't contain only within here. I'm building in the living room. The living room table is a horrible mess because of my building the last couple days. I have whole nother build station out there for working on my customs. I need better lighting. I've got comic books everywhere because I read that. That's one thing I don't review or anything like that because I need to have something for me. But it's literally like, where do I turn it off? Because when I turn the camera off, I now have to go edit. And I'll sit there and I'll edit for several hours. I'll edit when Miss Shoky's home. I'll be building when she's home. Whenever we go out, I'm like, hey, I need to swing by here and see if this toy is out. Or if we go on a road trip, I'm like, hey, we gotta go to this place. I wanna go check out this place. See if it's cool. And it's one reason why I quit vlogging for the most part, because it really wasn't ending. Like, any part of my day was now part of my job. Behind the scenes stuff. And I don't mind doing behind the scenes for like reviewing and stuff like that. That's kind of fun for me. But reviewing, like me driving around, talking constantly to the camera, this is kind of a vlog in and of itself. It was a lot. It's just never ending. And yeah, it comes down to where does the channel stop and where does my life begin? Because now it's everything. So it's like, okay, I've just struggled for days to gather all of these Venom Wave from Marvel Legends, even to the point that I had my buddy drive to Baytown to get it for me, the last one I needed, because there's no other way for me to get it. And that was hours and hours and hours. Running to different targets, running to different GameStops, hunting stuff down, waiting like every last little penny going to buying GUNPLA to build and review, not just for the hobby because of this job. You know, trying to establish all these other things, trying to balance friends over here who want my help with their channel, and I do what I can, but I'm letting a lot of them down because I've got so much other work to do over here. You know? And I'm talking about the dozens of reviews that I've got to put out now and have edited and have filmed and have a pile of stuff, literally a pile of stuff right here off camera that is all up next. And it's like, okay, hold on, when did I get here? You know, I look at my backlog for my GUNPLA, and I'm like, okay, I've got to build all this stuff. When the heck am I going to do that? I've got all of this to do, you know? So it just comes down to like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm putting out reviews daily, with the exception of Sunday, but I do a live stream on Sunday. So I'm here, I'm working 7 days a week on your end. On my side, I can't tell you how many hours I work. Like my actual job, I'm getting anywhere from 25 to 35 hours a week. That's it. You know, my normal job affords me a lot of time and a decent amount of money. This job is my life. That's the reality of it. And this is where all my work goes. This is where all my time goes. I literally can't tell you the amount of hours a week I work. I can't. I have no clue. It's like, I built 3 GUNPLA in the last 2 days. No idea how many hours. I reviewed 5 figures this morning, and I crashed. Like, I had got no sleep last night, and I came in here and decided to knock out 5 reviews, and then went in to go dump footage, and passed out for a few hours. Woke up when Miss Shoky was on her way home. So it's like, okay, so now I'm doing this, and I've got to edit this video tonight before we go to bed, so I can get it out for tomorrow morning, which I'm going to do. So that's the thing. But it's like, if you're going to do this, and this is for everybody, all my friends who are new at YouTubing and doing this kind of stuff, if you're going to do this, you have to know what sacrifices you're going to make. You got to know what you're going to give up to do this. And if it's not worth it, don't do it. Like, for the most part, like, I'm missing time with her right now, but it's kind of okay because she knew I had to do this. She's cooking dinner, which I said I would do when I was done filming, but it's getting a little bit later than anticipated. But that's the reality of it. And, you know, vloggers who have been at this for a decade are so burned out. And that's what this is. This is burnout. Both as a YouTuber and as a reviewer, as a builder of GUNPLA, you have to figure out how to not burn out. And there are those out there who criticize me, and other YouTubers criticize me for doing things like this, for doing things like my grocery gang figures. And maybe it's just poking fun. Maybe it's actual true not understanding of why I do anything but Gunpla. If all I did was review Gundams and nothing else, I would have quit a long time ago. I'd have been done with it. Because my burnout level would be way up here. I'm like here. I'm in a mild level. Like, I could take a break for a few days. I am literally, if I go ahead and edit all the videos that I've got right now, just Gunpla-wise, minus any Master Grade Mondays, I'm set for 3 weeks. I don't even have to do Gunpla reviews for 3 weeks at all. And I could just do other stuff. I can just take a break. And I'll let you guys in on a secret. I'm trying to have all of Double October filmed, uploaded, and scheduled so that for October, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to touch YouTube at all. I won't even have to film anything until the end of October. That's my goal. And I'm a long way away from that goal. Because I'm going to be incredibly burnt out by the end of Double October. And I was. The first year after Double October, which is still one of the biggest things this channel does, and I want to continue it, I was absolutely burned out by the end of that because I was struggling to get it all in. This year, I want to have maximum content for every single day of the month, well, weekday. And you guys will see it on your end. It'll be fine. It'll be dandy. You might even see me be tired, to be totally honest. But I'm working on that because I want to do it because I love it and I know you guys love it. But just know, so much happens behind the scenes of your favorite creators, and it's one reason I vlogged. Well, to let you guys know what was going on. You can see what's happening behind the scenes. So I talk to you guys all the time in live streams and let you know what's happening with us, what's going on our side, good, bad, or other. And, you know, we're struggling most of the time. You know, you guys want to think like, oh man, he's got all this money, he's got all this stuff. No, what I have is a lot of plastic. I buy what I can when I can. I'm getting better about my budgeting because I have blown out my bank account the last couple months to the point that I'm paying bills like 3 weeks late and stuff like that because I have to buy, ooh, gotta buy this new thing, ooh, I gotta chase this thing down, ooh, I gotta do this, and oh, that's a short paycheck. Crap, what am I gonna do? And that's the reality of it. This is what I need you guys to understand. You know, I do what I can on my end because I want you guys to have an almost non-ending stream of content. That's how you grow nowadays. Got to understand how this works. So if your wallet can't handle it, if your mind can't handle it, if your life can't support it, don't do this. If you want to go on Twitch and do live stream builds and stuff like that, by all means, go for it. That works out for a lot of people. And I got friends who do that, and I'm behind them. It's all good. Do it. But know that what's happening behind the scenes with your favorite creators, if you want to talk crap about the way somebody does a review, or if you want to talk about, like, I don't understand why you buy that figure, why you waste your money on this garbage. We do what we do because we love it. I'm not like other people, other reviewers who buy the stuff, the big name things, because they're what's going to get the views. I buy the stuff I like. If you guys point me just in the direction of something I might like, and I like it, and I buy it, and I review it, cool. If I find something cool that I like, I'm going to review it. If you guys don't like it, well, that kind of sucks. But I'm at the point now where I'm just going to show it to you one way or the other, and just hope for the best. And I want a broad range of people. Some people don't get it. A lot of people want to have this niche. They want to have this, and that's all they want to do. My camera didn't like that. I'm not like that. I want a broad range of things. That's why I'm shopping around. That's why I'm trying to get the Nerdcast one-on-one on its feet, where I could even do that weekly and have something fun and cool to listen to, and maybe even watch if it's a video version. Because that's what I want to do. I want to grow the brand. I want to grow the Shoky Nation. I want to grow the Shoky brand and name and everything like that. And I can't grow if I stay in one little thing. You know, I'm a fat guy. I can't fit into one little thing all the time. And if that's you, fine. That's what it is. But that's not me. Don't try to make me you. Just be on board with what I'm doing. That's all I ask. So here we are, 2 years on, going into year 3. Got 3,000 subscribers. Got a lot of threes. It's cool. And, you know, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer on the end here because there's been a lot of good. There's been a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot more fun in the future. But I just wanted to share with you guys and talk about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't necessarily think about or know about. And that's the truth of it. You know, I'm always honest with you guys as much as I can be. There's plenty of stuff I want to buy, can't afford. Plenty of stuff I've got on the burner, just waiting. Like, I've got to get this, you know. And like, that's why I ask for t-shirt sales in every video. That's why I ask for Patreon support. $5 a month, you would be amazed where $5 a month can really get somebody. I've legitimately done laundry, or even gotten groceries. We had an incredibly bad month, and the Patreon money got us groceries for the week. I'm not joking. That's the absolute truth of it. Every little bit helps. If you're spread too thin to help out, okay, that sucks. But, you know, that's why I always ask. That's why a lot of us ask. That's why we have the Patreon. Because the YouTube money, the view money, the ad revenue doesn't always add up. I'm actually at the point where I'm getting paid every other month right now, and that's amazing. I want to get paid every month. I just got to get the numbers up. And the numbers have tanked lately, except this past week they've gone way back up. Maybe because everybody came back from summer break. I don't know. Can't tell you that. You guys know. You guys know why you're watching. And all I can do is make the best content I can make and hope you guys watch it. And that's all I'm going to ask is 3,000 of you occasionally watch a whole video. Because my numbers have gone way down. And I can take criticism here and there, but it is what it is. I do things my way, just like any other creator. I can adjust here and there. I got to grow like everybody else. I got to change like everybody else. And I'm going to work on that in the future. This next year, there's going to be some changes on this channel. In a couple of years, there's probably going to be some big changes on this channel, just depending on where I'm at with life. That's just stuff I think about. That's it. So this video's gone on forever, and there's no The Point video for this, so I'm sorry. So happy anniversary, you guys, both to you guys and to me. We've been in this together. We're going to be in it together for the near future and the far future. I'm going to keep doing these videos as long as I can, as long as it's still fun, as long as you guys still want to watch. That's the truth of it. So I always say, so you keep on nerding, let's keep on building, and keep building this community together. And so we can make it to year 4. I'm sorry, year 3. Make it to year 4, 3 years, with even more people. I would love to hit 5,000 people by the end of the year. We might pull it off. There's still plenty of time. I didn't think we'd hit 3,000 at this point, but I'll catch you guys later. Like, subscribe, t-shirts, Patreon, all the stuff. Bye, guys.